Welcome my friends to the ultimate starter guide and walkthrough of Mount and Blade Bannerlord 2. Now the game has finally fully released to the public after all of the early access and patches. There's been so many changes to the game that I honestly can't summarize them just in this intro, so I'm just going to have to show you them as we play, and there's a lot of really cool stuff to share with you, so I'm super excited for that. But the problem is that no one seems to know that this game is now released. There's not been pretty much any coverage for it at all. So if you want to help out and you want to see Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord succeed, do like the video, do comment below, because that will push this video out to the YouTube algorithm. Hopefully it will surface in other people's feeds and other people will see it and come back to the game, because there's so much stuff that's been added in the last, I think, over 2 years since the game launched. So this walkthrough is basically going to be me sort of playing through the game, but also giving you tons of beginner starter advice, timestamp down below if you want to skip ahead to the relevant parts of the video. But we're going to be doing the main campaign. There's cutscenes and everything now, there's voice acting. Well, let's just get started, man. Let's begin a new campaign.
For 500 years, the Calradian Empire dominated the continent. Its armies scattered foes before them. The strongholds of proud tribes crumbled beneath its engines of war. From the forests of the north to the wastes of the south, all was brought beneath the standard of their legions. Brutal as the conquest was, the wise agreed that it brought peace. The land, now untroubled by armies, grew rich, but empires, like men, grow old. Leaders lose a common cause. Corruption spreads. Old enemies learn the Empire's tricks and devise new ones of their own. Until one day, the bonds holding the Empire snap. Then comes the Civil War, pitting all against all. A time of hatred. A time of suffering. But also, even in the worst hours, a time of courage and defiance. As new leaders arise, from new places and new peoples, to turn back the tides of destruction and bring forth a new world from the ashes of the old.
Damn, that was an awesome cinematic art style intro. Really explains the history of Calradia and what the current climate is. So firstly, we need to go ahead and pick our cultural background for our character, which is a very important decision because each culture has various pros and cons. Some are definitely better than others as well. However, I've actually already made a starter guide separate for this one, which is all about character creation. I go through every single culture in depth, go through all the pros and cons and which one would best fit your own playstyle. And I'll link that video guide down below in the description. And it goes through exactly how you can build your character and all the skills and how the game basically works. So I, myself, am going to go for a Botanian cultural background and character build. Because, as I outlined in that previous video, the 50% less speed penalty and 15% sight range bonus in forest is so useful for outrunning and outmaneuvering your enemies and also ambushing them. Also, towns owned by Battanian rulers have +1 military production. Later in the game, that's going to mean that we actually don't even need to keep a garrison at times. And begin the character creation. The best way of testing out any character creation is just by hitting the randomization button and just looking at all the ugly trolls that appear on your screen to see the diversity that this game offers. And I think there's a ludicrous amount of beard options in this game. We also have a selection of different females and female trolls that you can choose from as well as amazing voices.
Circle facing outward! Close in! Shield wall! No!
Truly terrifying.
Ladders!
Jesus.
2 ladders!
She sounds like a drunk British girl.
Is ours! Close in! Bomber wall! Kill 'em all!
Okay, we're going to play a male character though, which is also equally funny with a high-pitched voice.
Infantry! Circle facing outward! Hold your ground! Line up!
Even better with a female haircut as well, I like it. Alright, let's try and come up with a cool Viking character. Because as you guys know, I want to model myself after a true Vikinger. This is quite a handsome chap, I would say, actually. We just need to edit our voice pitch.
Charge!
Fantastic. And I'm 6'5" and... oh, that's actually off the screen. I'm 6'5" in real life, so I reckon we're about there. Weight-wise, I'm pretty skinny, so we're going to go around here, but we could be a jacked dude if I want to. I'm also a pasty white man, so we need to reflect that as well. We have different skin types. I want to kind of go for that grizzled sort of complexion, you know? Different ear shapes, flappy but flap. Oh, look at that. We can do a little weird nose tilt. That'll do. Eye size, we have huge eyes. I can see everything that is coming. Everything. Because now when we come to the actual beard options, and you can see just how many beard options we have a plethora of facial hair. Look at this. Look at this. This is like the best game ever for me. I mean, like, look at all these beard options. I think we're going to go for this. We're going to go for a Viking haircut. We want red hair though, sort of light gingery hair. And then we have a different sort of Vikinger cut. We have different afros and hairstyles. Just kind of quickly going through them so you guys can see what's on offer. We have the Ragnar son haircut, which is pretty cool. But I actually kind of like this Legolas looking loose Vikinger haircut. So I think we'll go for that. Oh, and we also have face markings. We can dress up like it's Halloween. I mean, it pretty much is Halloween. So this is very appropriate. We can also go for battle scars of the one-eyed bowman. I took an arrow through the face at some point. Terribly wrong. Oh no, actually, we were attacked by a werewolf. No, a cat. I got attacked by a cat. And now I look like this. And now we have our family's background, which dictates our starting skills and focus points and where they're allocated. Now I'm just going to go through my own build and character's backstory. I'm going to play a mounted archer who also specializes in charm and leadership and also trading. That's going to be our main source of making loads of money in our gameplay. The game has also added smithing into the game as well, which I'm not going to be really using in my playthrough. It's quite overpowered right now. I still think they have some balancing to do there. But it is a super in-depth feature and it's awesome that it's in the game. Now I'm going to go over my family background and my character build. So my family were actually bards. My father was a bard and he would just drift from chieftain's hall to chieftain's hall, making his living singing the praises of one Battanian aristocrat and mocking his enemy. He'd then go to the enemy's hall and he'd just do it in reverse. I learned from that a clever tongue could spare you from a life toiling in the fields if you kept your wits about you. That gives me one more social attribute, an extra point in charm, and roguery as well. As a child, what was I as a child? Well, I look like a troll actually. Look at my face. My god, I was an ugly child. But I had my way with people. I was always attentive to other people, good at guessing their motivations, which allowed me to be a manipulative little demon, essentially. I had an increase to my social skill because of this, and +1 to leadership and another +1 to charm. In my adolescence, like all the village children, I helped out in the fields, but I also could have herded sheep, I could have done a variety of different chores. I actually specifically sold products at the market though. I took my family's goods to the nearest town to sell my produce, use and buy supplies. And that gives me another +1 to social, it gives me +1 to trade and charm as well. And you're starting to see a narrative here formed to my character and what I'm actually specializing in. But as a youngster growing up in TaleWorlds, war was never too far away from me. So I actually trained and rode with the scouts. All of TaleWorlds' kingdoms recognize the value of good light cavalry, and they are sure to recruit nomads and borderers with the skill to fulfill those duties. I was a good enough rider that the neighbours pitched in to buy me a small pony and a sheaf of javelins so I could fulfill my levy obligations. And this gave me an increase to my bow skill, which I'll be specialising in, and also my endurance attributes and my horse riding skill. So I was essentially a good horse archer with a hell of a chin. Look at that chin, son. Now, in my adulthood, before I actually set off on the life of being an adventurer, my biggest achievement was just treating people well. Mine wasn't the kind of reputation that the local legends are made of, but it was the kind that just wins you the respect of those around you. I was constantly fair and honest in my business dealings and helpful to those in trouble, and that gave me a lot of respect amongst the townspeople. This increased my social skill up to 6, gave me another point in charm, and also a point in stewardship, which is a very useful skill, but will actually be putting all of these free skills to our quartermaster, which I'll talk more about later because our brother will be fulfilling that role specifically. So like many families in TaleWorlds, our life was actually upended by war. Our home was ravaged by the passage of army after army, and eventually we decided we'd sell our property and set off with our father, mother and brother and our 2 younger siblings to a town that we'd heard was safer. But we didn't actually make it. Along the way, at an inn at which we were staying, we were attacked by raiders. Your parents were slain and your 2 younger siblings seized, but your brother survived because I actually organised the travellers to break out. I encouraged a few of them at the inn to break out in a coordinated fashion. I basically just used them as bait, really, because the raiders killed or captured most of them, but me and my brother were able to escape. And this is going to give us another point to social, another +1 to leadership, and it's going to max out our charm focus points, which will allow us to level up that very quickly and gain a lot of influence as we play the game. What is my name? It is Ragnar. And we prepare to set off with our brother on a mission of vengeance and rescue.
Brother, it's been 3 days now we've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How are we going to rescue our brother and sister? Are we up for a fight?
My friend, I am always up for a fight.
This looks like an old training field for the legions. Perhaps we can spare some time and brush up on our skills. The practice could come in handy when we catch up with the raiders.
So do you think we'll catch up with the raiders soon?
The tracks look fresh, and I've seen some smoke on the horizon. Well, they can't move too quickly if they're still looting and raiding. No, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to rescue the little ones. Or die trying.
How should we prepare for the fight?
Well, if they're still pillaging, they may have split up into smaller groups. Hopefully we won't need to take them all on at once. But it would help if we could hire or persuade some people to join us.
I highly recommend you do the tutorial though, because as I will explain later, it is definitely worth it. There's a few things you can do while you're here, especially if you're new to the game. You can pick up a sword and shield, you can try out the gameplay with that, you can talk to the trainer and he'll teach you. You can also test out the two-handed as well, and maybe it even makes you want to respec your character because you feel like you want to play something else. Then over here you can also practice horse archery, mounted polearms, and also mounted one-armed weapons as well. And then finally, just over here, you can have a go with the crossbow. There's also a bow, and there's even some javelins. Now obviously you can throw the javelins into the flesh wound, I guess. You can throw the javelins into the pot like... Oh, how did that miss? It looked like I hit it. What? Okay, I wasn't standing in the circle. Sorry. But why break pots when this man right here, he doesn't seem to break at all. He takes those javelins like a champ. Look at him. He's got like 3 bloody javelins in him. This guy's stronger than Boromir. Alright, it's time to save the little ones. Go back and talk to our brother and we can go on an adventure.
Ready to leave here?
I am ready. Before we do anything else, we're low on food. There's a village north of here where we can buy some provisions and get some help. You're a better rider than me, so you lead the way. Okay, and this is the village over here in the distance. And since we're playing in the campaign mode, we're currently based always whenever you start in the main campaign in the South Empire, which is all these dark purple areas over here. But otherwise you would just spawn in your cultural background, so I would spawn like over here in Britannia. But since we're doing the main campaign, everyone's going to be spawning in the same position as me, which is convenient for this tutorial. So as you can see, we're now a little horseman over here, and as we ride around we can just point where we want to go on the map and we can travel there. You can also see your travel speed at the bottom here. Our party speed is currently 7 because me and my brother are mounted. And on the bottom left here, if you press on character, you can see I actually have a focus point to spend. So I'm going to go on my bow skill. Currently, the maximum amount of bow skill I can have is plus 40. But if I put another focus point on there, it increases my learning rate times 4.75 experience, and it's also now maxed at plus 70. So I want to increase this because I'll be leveling up my bow skill as soon as I can. And then if I go and click on my charm skill down here, I can actually unlock 2 perks. Now I'm not going to compare and go over all the perks as we go, but Virile gives me plus 30% likelihood of having children. Not really that useful to me right now. Instead, self-promoter plus 5 influence by winning a tournament is going to be much more useful early on in the game because we're going to be doing some tournaments later. Now, Warlord is incredible because it increases the influence gained from battles by 30%. So every single battle we're in, we're going to get 30% more renown, and that's really important early on to increase our clan rank and also when we build a kingdom later. So we're going to go with Warlord. The other thing I want to show you is this is our brother. As you can see, our brother is an absolute unit. In fact, he has 14 free attribute points that you can put into his different skills. As you can see, he's a very good steward. We can later train up his medicine. He's also got great charm and leadership, and he makes a very good captain as well. But I'm not going to talk about how to spec him right now because he actually disappears from our party later on in the main tutorial. But later on we will be speccing him and using him as effectively as possible. So just bear in mind that we can skill your brother, but just don't worry about it right now. But to finalize our own perk selection and changes, we're going to press the done button. And then we're going to continue riding over to this town. Now we can go ahead and take a walk around.
Well, we're here, I guess. So, we need food, and after that, maybe some men to come with us.
The voice acting's pretty good as well.
The head man here can probably help us. Let's try to find him.
Alright, where is the head man? Let's have a look by holding Alt and looking around. He's just over there. Now another thing that TaleWorlds has added is they have redone a lot of these villages here, and each culture has a different village style, and each village is rather unique in its own way. So every time you're battling in these locations, you know, you'll be attacking from over there where the bridge is. You can come and scout out the land and sort of plan how you might defend or raid a village like this. So those are some of the other cool features, and you'll start to see that, especially with the castles and other things, as we explore the game.
I'm Arthur, head man of this village. What brings you here?
We need your help. Some raiders have taken our younger brother and sister captive. We think they may have passed this way.
They got your people too? Sorry to hear that. Those bastards have done a bit of killing and looting in these parts as well. We think they've gone north. I reckon there are a few folk around here who'll join you in going after them if you'll pay for their gear.
That seems pretty reasonable.
Once you've made your preparations, come and talk to me again. I may have a task if you're going after the raiders.
Very well. I shall do just that. Come, brother. So firstly, we need to go ahead and buy some food. Now, this sheep is actually only 52 gold as well. So we need to buy 2 grain firstly, but I'm also going to buy these 3 sheep for 52 gold each, because at the start of the game, the economy is just getting rolling. So if I open up my inventory, have a look at these sheep, I can actually go ahead and slaughter them. And each one gives me 2 meat and 1 hide. Now the hide alone is worth 55 gold, and the meat is worth 38 each. So we basically double our money by buying these sheep, slaughtering them, and then selling back all of the meat and also the hides, and we get 198 gold minus what the sheep costs us. We can also go ahead and recruit some troops. I'm going to go ahead and recruit all of these troops because I think we'll need them for the coming battles. We finished our preparation. Let's talk to the headman again. He said he may have a task for us. We could use his friendship. Very well. Let's go and talk to him.
Glad to see you found what you needed. Now, about that matter I mentioned earlier.
Yes, do tell.
There's this wandering doctor who comes through it from time to time. Name of Tacteos. Treats people for free. We're fond of him.
I can imagine so, if he's a free doctor.
Well, we last saw him a few days ago. He was carrying some sort of chest, which he was very mysterious about. He was on some sort of quest, he said, though wouldn't tell us more.
Pretty sure he was just on skooma.
He set off on the road just a few hours before the raiders came through here. Well, he's not really a worldly type, just the kind of fellow who would stumble into a trap and let himself be captured. We're worried about him.
I'm going to go ahead and assume he's dead.
If you can keep an eye out for him, this Tacteos, we'd be very grateful. Maybe if he's alive and well, he'll tell you a little more about his quest.
We'll see if he's alive first. So as you can see, the village is now surrounded by these different raider parties over here. Ideally though, we want to try and seek them out individually so we don't attack them all at once. So I'm going to go for this party of 6 over here in the north. If you attack them too close together, what will actually happen is you'll end up with 12 against 8 or even 18 against 8. Let's go ahead and attack them. So we actually are attacking them in the woodland, and as you can see, we are now in the woods. I'm going to send my med over there in the distance because this is actually a good opportunity for us to level up our skills. And how we can do this is just come up here on the higher ground and just try and get some headshots on these enemies. Now they do have stones to throw when they get closer, so as long as you're moving a little bit, it's pretty hard for them to actually hit you. Yeah! And there, some of them are just going to run after our other friends, while we can deal with these guys pretty easily. Get wrecked, son. 81 damage. Wow, that was big. 34 damage. And 80 damage. Alright, now I'm going to come and tell my men to charge through the rest of these raiders. And they're going to attack them automatically as they go past. And the raiders will continue to run after them. We got another one just there. And as you can see, I've gained a level because I've actually killed them all myself. Now, I could have let my troops help me, but these guys are going to disappear after this quest. And I don't need their help just yet. So now's quite a good time for me just to do the work myself and get some experience for it. As you can see, we got 4 prisoners, and we also got another headsman's troop. We're going to ignore the prisoners for now because currently we can't actually sell them. So instead, we're going to leave them there. And then we have some leather cavalier boots, which are better than our current boots, and also some arm guards, which can replace our own. And we've defeated 1 out of 3 of the raider parties so far. So now we're going to go ahead and head south towards this raider party. So just to demonstrate, this time I'm going to press F1, and then I'm going to say F3, which is charge. So we're going to send all our spear and swordsmen into the enemy right now. And I'm just going to sit back a bit, shoot some arrows, and deal with them after they've all been hit by that initial attack there. Now, sometimes it's good to get your guys to regroup, so I'm going to say, hey, come back, follow me, don't spread out too much, because, you know, if you all ride into them at once, then you can kind of get ganged up on, and that's how we start to lose them. So we'll go and send our guys over there, just so they charge through again. Watch this. Oh, get wrecked, son. And then we'll say, okay, charge them down, finish them off. I've just shot my own Britannian horseman. Whoops. Oh, dude, come on. Stop going right in front of me. You know what? I'm going to get the axe out. We're going down. Oh! 57 damage on the axe throw. And it calculates your movement speed as well. So if you're going towards them quickly, you actually end up doing even more damage. And I think they're all dead, yeah. Well done, boys. We've killed them all. And we're going to take the headsman's troop. We're going to leave the prisoners behind. And we also got a bunch of armor, including some old fur armor that actually has good body armor but lower leg armor, because it is quite sizably better, but it does look extremely ugly, like I'm wearing a sack. Now, I believe the other raider party went off towards the west, towards the training field. Oh yes, here they are. So let's just go ahead and attack them. We'll speed it up here until we actually reach them. Charge! Look at them all getting gunned down. Beautiful. He's got a flesh wound. Look at him. He's walking so slowly. Get wrecked, mate. We should have a few men left just in the sunset in the background as well. It's beautiful. Get wrecked, mate. And now we're done. We've killed all of the bandits that we needed to kill for our friend. So we got a few more troops and we'll leave the prisoners behind. You rescue several prisoners that the raiders had been dragging along. They look parched and exhausted. You give them a bit of water and bread, and after a short while, one staggers to his feet and comes over to you.
I don't know who you are, but I'm in your debt. These brigands would have marched us to our deaths.
Well, I know who you are.
My name's Tacteos. I'm a doctor by trade. I was on, well, a bit of a quest, but I'm now thinking I'm not really made for this kind of thing.
Oh, sort of bit of a quest. Yeah, I don't think so either, mate. You should just stick to the village.
I was with a caravan and they just came out of the brush. We were surrounded and outnumbered, so we gave up. I figured they'd keep us alive, if just for the ransom. But then they started flogging us along at top speed without any water, and I was just about ready to drop.
Outrageous behaviour.
I could feel the signs of heat stroke creeping up, and I told them, but they just flogged me more. If your group hadn't come along, maybe I have a way to thank you properly.
Honestly, with his smile, he kind of looks like he enjoyed the flogging. I don't know, Tacteos. We're looking for 2 children captured by the raiders. Can you tell us anything?
I'm afraid I haven't seen any children, but after our caravan was attacked, the chief of the raiders, the one they call Rhagaea, took and rode off with our more valuable belongings, including a chest that I had.
Where did Rhagaea go? It's like Radagast the Brown, more like. Pretty went to Mirkwood.
He seemed to be controlling more than one band around this area. If this lot has your kin, then I think he'd be the one to know.
We'll see about that.
And since I have nothing of value left to repay your help,
how convenient.
I'll tell you this. If you do catch up with and defeat that ruffian, you may be able to recover my chest. It contains a valuable ornament, which I was told could be of great value if you knew where to sell it.
That sounds like the most ludicrous treasure hunt I've ever heard in my life. You want me to go and find some ruffian, beat him in battle, recover your silly little chest that apparently contains something valuable, but only if I can discover its value and manage to sell it. Sounds impossible.
I was trying to find out more about it, but, as I say, I've had all my urge for travelling flogged out of me. Right now, I don't think I'd venture more than 20 paces from a well as long as I live.
We'll keep that in mind. I guess I will.
It doesn't look like much, and I suspect this lot will give it away for a few coins. But I got it from a mercenary whom I treated once, and he swore it was related to Neretzes Folly.
Sure.
I don't know what that means, except that Neretzes was, of course, the emperor who died in battle some years back. Maybe you could find out its true value.
Yes, Neretzes Folly is the location of the battle that happened when the Emperor died, which obviously resulted in the civil war we have currently in the world of Calradia.
Thanks for saving me again. I hope our paths will cross again.
Yeah, me too, me too. Oh, and he's told us the location of the hideout. And we've also obviously leveled up a few times during the battle. We're now level 2, which means we have another focus point to distribute. And I'm actually going to put that into the bow skill straight away. And we can also get ourselves a new bow perk. Either Dead Aim or Bow Control. Dead Aim increases our headshot damage by 30%, which just means you can one-hit kill people super easily. So this is 100% one we want to get. And we're going to press done. So we're heading over to the bandit camp now, and it is currently nightfall. But it should be dawn actually by the time we get there. You have arrived at the hideout. Let's go ahead and attack them. Now obviously I'm going to take this opportunity to take out some of the enemies on my own. But you can see there's a guy right here. We can actually get the drop on this guy. I'm going to take the high ground. He doesn't stand a chance. And then I'm going to go ahead and yeet him right in the back of the head. 112 damage now. We were doing 80 with a headshot before, but now it's 112. because of that perk that gives us 30% more damage to headshots or whatever it is. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my men to come ahead and follow me, because they're all the way over there right now, and it'll just make this a bit faster. There's another guy just over here. Oh, another headshot. I'm literally an assassin. A woodland assassin. They don't stand a chance. Look at him. He's just in the river, sleeping with the fishes, literally. Okay, so my men are right behind me, and we're just coming up the river here. I can see a few enemies up ahead, but there's not too many left. I just remembered I can zoom in by pressing shift. Let's try and get a long shot on this guy. Oh, okay, that was actually pretty far away from the target. Okay, there we go. Not a headshot, but... oh, that was a nice one. And we get extra experience if you look on the bottom right there. I think we have our last enemy just over here. Let's try a long shot on him. That missed him. Dude, must have been the wind. Oh, right in the knee. He's going to become a guard of Whiterun. Watch out. Using the tree there to dodge the arrow. Oh, it didn't pay off for him though, did it? Didn't pay off. I currently have a hatchet, and the bandit boss only has 2 men. So I think we're going to try and beat him 1v1 here.
So, who's this that comes through my place of business, killing my employees?
We heard you took our little brother and sister. Where are they?
Good heaven. I'll need a better description than that. My men have harvested dozens of little brats in this region. Quite good hunting grounds. Already sent most of them off to a slave market, I know, though.
Disgusting.
Since your hunt for your kin is fruitless, how about you clear off and save your own lives? Either that, or I'll force you to lick up all the blood you've spilled here with your tongues. Or you and I could settle this one-on-one.
I don't duel slavers. Men, attack! Well, very well, I'll duel you. I think we're actually going to get our men involved. He's pretty well armored, and currently I feel like I can't take him on. So we're going to say, let's attack!
I'll tear your limbs!
I'm going to try and defend myself here so we can't get her. Then we're going to go for the overhead attacks so we don't hit our own men.
The day is up!
And they're already dead. Get wrecked, son. Look at that. So there you have it. We only had one guy get wounded. I think the bandit boss actually took him out. And then we actually got some really good stuff here. This tailored gambeson is much better than my current armor, so we're going to take that. Worn braces that are slightly better. And we also have a battered fur cap as well, which looks not only stylish, but it also gives us some defense to our head.
Well, I recognise defeat when I see it. If I'm gonna be your captive, let me introduce myself. I'm Rhagaea. You haven't cut my throat yet, which was a wise move. I'm sure I can find a way to be worth more to you alive than dead.
You better help us get my brother and sister back, or we will swing from a tree.
Ah, you'll need my help, all right. If you want to get them back. Alive, that is. See, my boys have some pretty specific instructions about what to do if there's a rescue attempt.
I see.
Shall we get on the road? Remember, if I drop dead of exhaustion or drown in some river, that's it for your little dears. I don't expect a cosy palanquin now, but you best not make it too hard a trip for me.
We'll see about that. You come across a chest with an old piece of bronze in it. It's so battered and corroded it could have been anything from a cup to a crown. This must be the chest Tacteos mentioned. It had something to do with Neretzes Folly.
I was hoping to find more treasure here, but I think business wasn't going too well for Rhagaea and his gang.
You're right, mate. You got like some stomach cramps there. You okay?
I found this strange looking metal piece though. Doesn't look too valuable, but it could be the artifact Tacteos was talking about. Maybe we can sell it to one of the noble clans for a hefty price.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Let's get on the road, mate.
I have a better idea. We would have a better chance if we split up now. I'll take Rhagaea and go find the slaver market and look for a way to free the children. However, we must be careful not to endanger their lives, and it could be better to just buy them. We need to have our purses full for that, though.
Very well. That sounds like a good plan, but are you sure you're going to make it there alone?
I'll need to take these men with us. Rhagaea is a slippery one. I don't want him getting away.
He's very slippery. So you want me to raise the money to ransom the little ones while you go off and have fun with Rhagaea?
Indeed. You'll have to find a way to do that. Maybe this bronze thing can help.
This bronze thing, yeah, great. I'm sure it'll be the most valuable thing we've ever found.
Tacteos said it could be worth a fortune to the right person, if you manage not to get killed. If he's telling the truth, you must be careful. Never reveal that you have it, but try to understand its value and how it can be sold.
I think you should do it, to be honest. You sound much more educated than me.
One more thing. When you are talking to nobles and other people of importance, make sure you present yourself as someone from a distant but distinguished family.
Okay.
You can use our family name if you like, or make up a new one.
Well, I
You will
think...
have a better chance of obtaining an audience with nobles, and it'll be easier for me to find you by asking around.
We're going to call ourselves Clan Battle Brother. Beautiful. Welcome to the Battle Brothers, my friend.
Get on the road now. Once I locate the little ones, I'll come find you.
Okay, we need some more Viking-looking... Is that a sausage dog? Okay, the fish is pretty Viking. You can actually make it bigger, but if you go too big, it doesn't fit on your shield. You just have an axe. There you go. A hatchet, that's pretty Viking. Something more Britannian. I actually quite like this pattern. That's quite cool. Black and white looks very nice. Or black and grey actually is quite cool. Okay, I think we're good. I think we are ready with this banner of the Battle Brothers. Tutorial is now over. You are free to explore Rhagaea. The journey is just beginning, my friends, because now we can do some awesome stuff. On the second day of summer, 1084, you found the artifact which Tacteos mentioned. Epic music blaze. This is part of the main quest. So first off, we need to establish our clan, and to do that we need to increase our money by another 1,000, grow our party to 20 men, reach clan tier 1, and also hire 1 companion. Now the first thing we're going to be doing is farming renown, and there's a very effective way of doing that which I'll share with you in a moment. And we're also going to be making loads of money, which I'll show you how to do as well. Then we also have the main quest, which is investigate Neretzes Folly. And we have to talk to 0 out of 10 nobles, and I'll show you how to find them all in a moment. Now, as for our brother, we will catch up with him later. So the first thing we want to do regarding money is actually head over here to Lycaron. And if we see any looters along the way over there, we're actually going to end up killing them. We could even go back and attack the bandit hideout, but right now I think we'll just not worry about that for now. We're just going to travel around solo because that's a very effective way of getting renown. Okay, so there's actually 4 mountain bandits just over here. This is definitely a harder fight, but because we are outnumbered...
Hello there, little lost sheep. We are wolves of the mountains, and we would like a moment of your time.
Okay, we'll see about that. So as you can see, they outnumber us in power level, which means we will get renown for beating them. So it's a good way to farm that and also our archery skill because they're on foot. So fight me if you dare. So you intend to fight, little sheep? Let's see your horns then. Can't even see them right now. Where even are they? Oh, okay, there they are, in the woods, in the distance. I literally couldn't see them there. Oh, 1 man down. Get wrecked. You next? Oh, 40 damage right in the shoulder. Oh, another one goes down. And you're dead. Gonna go for another headshot. Boom. Right in the face. He's angry. Look at him. He's pissed. Oh, get wrecked. Oh my god. Big damage. And we've won the battle. So as you can see, because we were outnumbered, we get 1.1 renown. And slowly we can build up renown by using this method. We also get a Hillman prisoner. We can have up to 10 prisoners with us, but they slow down the party. We can also sell them as well. More importantly, we get some good loot. So with that, let's go and head on inside the city and sell all this stuff that we just got for 375 gold. But also, because it's the start of the game and the economy is just getting rolling, if we scroll all the way down here, we can see that currently they have some livestock and they're selling for a value of 75 gold each. So I can go ahead and buy all of their livestock for 434 gold. Go ahead and open my inventory and I'm going to slaughter them all and then go back to the town and say you want to trade and then give them back the meat and hide from their animals. And we get some more gold. If we also go to the tavern district, we can actually ransom that one prisoner that we picked up for 12 gold. So now we're going to go ahead and leave, and we're going to look for some more looters. Our riding skill has also leveled up. We can get full speed or nimble steed. I personally prefer nimble steed because it makes our maneuvering 10% better, which is much better with a bow. Now as for the main quest to investigate Neretzes Folly, we need to talk to 0 out of 10 noble to ask them about what the heck Neretzes Folly is. So to find all of the nobles on the map, press the N key to get up the encyclopedia tab, then click on kingdoms. And as you can see, you've got all 10 factions listed here. Now currently we are in the Southern Empire, so I'd recommend just clicking on that, and you'll see their leader is called Rhagaea. So if we click on her, and on the top right, just behind my head there, it will say she was last seen near Segura. So if I click on Segura, I can then click on track. And now, if I look down here, it's actually this village just south of me. So I'm going to just ride down there now, and she should be nearby or have walked past it in the last day or so. She might even be at the village, I don't know. Probably not. But we need to find her to ask her about this quest. We can buy all 12 of their sheep to slaughter those, so let's go ahead and do that. We pay 588, then we slaughter them all, and then we get 804 gold back. Very good way of making some quick money. Also, now nearby the village is actually an army of 20 looters. So we're actually going to go and attack these guys because there's a very useful...
Stop! Give us your silver. We're not playing games.
And we're actually going to go ahead and attack them to farm our archery skill, and also because there's a cool tactic to this. So we're going to go ahead and fight them. So you can see all 20 of them on the horizon there, and they are using stones. But my god, that landscape looks stunning in the background. So we're just going to stay on horseback, and we're just going to shoot them down with arrows. Like so. Ideally aiming for headshots if we can. But we are getting experience by just hitting them right now. And we've gained a level just there, and we've killed another looter. So we're just going to keep doing this until we essentially run out of arrows, and at that point we can retreat, and we'll easily escape. Oh, another one bites the dust. So now we've used up all our arrows, what we're going to do is press tab, and then press retreat. And then say, yes, I would like to retreat my party. And then we're just going to go ahead and attack again, and this time there's only 16 versus 1. And as you can see, my arrows are now restored, so I can just do this again. Ooh. Get wrecked. Another level in range, and then we just go ahead and retreat again. Now we have 11 versus 1, and we've almost won. He's the last guy to go here, and he got 6 arrows left though, and he's dead. There we go. Get wrecked. We've killed a team of 20 looters. It took us a few goes, but we managed to do it on 1 health bar with all the arrows in the world. And as you can see, we got 3.6 renown from that, which is fantastic. We also got 2 looter prisoners as well, and tons of loot. I mean, look at all this loot. There's loads here. Fantastic. Okay, let's head back to town because we are very over encumbered and we can sell our stuff here. 500 gold in total earned from those looters as well. And with this attribute point we have, we're going to go ahead and put it into endurance to further increase our riding and athletics. So if we check the kingdoms tab again, we can see that Rhagaea was last seen near Zestia, which is located over there on the map. So she's actually heading this way. So now we've got her direction of travel. We just need to take care of the looters because we're quite low health. But we might actually be able to see her when we venture past. Oh look, she's right here. Here she is. So now we can go talk to her.
Now then, come no closer. Forgive me, but one cannot be too cautious.
He's
I
like,
would ask you for your name.
hello. My name is Ragnar, madame. May I ask your name? I am Rhagaea, rightful Empress of the Calradians. I am Lady of Onira and Lycaron. I have not heard of you, but you have the face of a man who might make something of himself one day. What is Neretzes Folly? Well, that's what some people call the Great Battle of the Pendraic Year in 1077. Emperor Neretzes led an army accompanied by Khuzaits and Azerai to fight a coalition of Sturgeons, Botanians, and Valadians. It was a disaster for him. He died in it, but the victors didn't fare much better either. I see. Can you tell me anything about the Battle of the Pendraic? I did not witness the battle, but my husband, Erenkos, spoke frequently of it. He was one of the Emperor's trusted commanders. He could not stop Neretzes from marching to defeat, but he managed to salvage something from the disaster. When the Sturgians came over our barricades, he managed to lead a group of Neretzes guardsmen out the back. My husband's small force held together, and we were joined by stragglers and fugitives. He described the march back: no food, little water, marching day and night to keep ahead of the enemy outriders. But they survived, the only organized Imperial force to do so. The city was in a state of panic after hearing the rumors of what happened. Erenkos kept things from descending into chaos. When it came time for the Senate to choose the next emperor, there was no question that it should be him. I loved him before as a man, but that day I learned to love him as something more. What a gift he was to the people of Calradia. Thank you. And we can't get employed as a mercenary until we reach Clanto 1. So now there's been a quest update. We've spoken to 1 out of 10 nobles. So now if we look on the map, we can see that the next closest place for us to go is actually the Empire, just over here. Go to home, go to kingdoms, and then go to the Western Empire. And then Garius is the leader. So if we go and find Garius, he was actually near Gelmairis, or however you say this, I'm dyslexic. And it's all the way over here. It's another city, in fact. So there might be some things going on in between here and there. We can go to Poros on our way, for example. Let's go ahead and speed up time. Let's have a look if they have any hogs. Okay, the hogs are only 32 gold, so we can once again use our tactic here. 845 gold in total. And we can butcher everything. And then trade it all back. And we get 2,000 gold back. Some easy money there. And we can also go ahead and visit the tavern. So here we are in one of the Roman taverns. And if we actually go ahead and speak to the townspeople, they'll actually have some information that could actually be useful to us. Kind of like stuff about trade and things like this. So let's go ahead and talk to them.
Yours is not a face I know. What is your name, stranger?
Ah, Yala Frostbeard. So this is one of the potential companions we can recruit. Click on his name. He'll actually show us his stats. As you can see, he has a good scouting knowledge. He also has a decent athletics, a good two-handed skill, and bow skill. So he's a decent warrior as well. My name is Ragnar, sir. Tell me about yourself.
I'll tell you, but I don't know why you'd be interested. My parents died when I was young. I know the woods well. I can move quickly through them. I can tell you about a war party from the branches it broke marching through. If you have work for me, we can discuss it.
Okay, so we can ask him to join us. 427 gold. This is definitely worth it. Let's go ahead and pay. Very well. I'll get my gear and join you outside.
Captain?
So what is it then? About your position in the clan, I would like to assign you a new role. So currently, we're going to assign him to scout. So all of his scout skills will now be applied to our scouts of the party, like the whole level of it. Meaning that we don't need to level into it and waste our skill points on that. It would be an honor. So if we go back to our character sheet, and then we press the little arrow at the top here, we can see Frostbeard's stats. As you can see, he currently has a good scouting skill, good athletics, and a high bow skill and two-handed skill. So ideally, we want to give him a two-handed weapon and a bow because that's what he's going to be most effective with. As for his attributes, as he levels up, he's actually going to unlock more attribute points. We're going to want to put them all into the cunning attribute. We also want to put all the focus points he gets when he levels up into his scouting as well, so we can get that as high as possible, as quick as possible. As for the scouting perks, I would have actually gone for Day Traveller because there are more hours of day than there are of nighttime. And then I would have also gone for Pathfinder, which is 2% more movement speed in the plains versus 10% more sight range while on the plains, which is still useful, don't get me wrong, but movement speed is just overall better in my opinion. We have Desertborn, which I definitely would have gone for, which gives you more movement speed in the deserts, and then instead you could have got Forestkin, but our cultural background already allows us to move faster than most people in the forest. Now, if you haven't found yourself a scouting companion, don't worry, you can just open up the Encyclopedia tab, then go to Heroes just over here, click on that, and then on the left, if you scroll down, there's an occupation tab, and if you click on Wanderer, so all these people listed are companions and they're generated randomly at the start of the game. So all the names are different for your own playthrough, but just click on the top person here. And as you can see, she has a really good roguery skill and also a good scouting skill. But I can just press the next page button on the bottom right here, and I can just go through all of these different companions depending on what skills I'm actually looking for. But if we carry on looking, this character also has a scouting skill of 100. She's also only age 26, which means she'll obviously age up for longer. And if you want to find her for yourself, top right here, last seen at Oristia. So if we click on that and then we go to track, it'll actually say, okay, well, she's actually just in this village here. Now on the bottom left, if we go to the clan tab just here, we can see we can have up to 3 companions already at the start of the game. And if we click on the party tab just up here, you'll see that it now outlines the different members of our party. As you can see, I've currently selected Frostbeard for being our scout, but I'm also going to be later getting a surgeon and an engineer and also a quartermaster. You can have one companion fill multiple roles for this as well. So my friends, that brings episode 1 to a close, but episode 2 is going to be linked down below. So if you like this video, please do drop a like on it, because the part 1 episode in these playthroughs is honestly the most important. It makes or breaks the whole series. You can find the next episode linked below. I'll see you there.